Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you again so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Now look here at SEI. This is a request from some community members here. See here, who's asking for this here? What? Grease Monkey Dave, Big Surprise, and Hazel, if I'm saying it correctly. That is awesome. We'll go and take a look here at SEI. We haven't actually looked at this in a few weeks or a few days. I think the last analysis was back in late July, August, somewhere in that range. So obviously we need a new update. And we're going to see if this this coin is worth taking a trade if we want to get on the bandwagon, right? Is it worthwhile? So we'll just go ahead and pull up some fib levels here for our last couple weeks of trading and see generally what this looks like here. And again, we have broken free from our descending trend, so just keep this in mind. Just to quickly give you perspective. When you establish lower highs and lower lows consistently, then you finally break free from that, and then you retest it bullishly. Back test here, that's usually a good sign. Now again, this doesn't seem like much of a bullish backtest because of the way the price slid down, right? But the truth is we're higher than the previous low, and that's the important thing. We're still establishing higher lows, and more importantly, parallel lows is the consistency there, right? So a lot of cool stuff, right? Now it's not exact, no chart's gonna look the same every time, but generally speaking, when I see this kind of structure, it's a good foundation for more continuation, right? And that's kind of what you want to look for in a coin that may be ready to perform. So let's take a look here. And again, when I say those things, by the way, I'm not saying that so you can have a bias moving forward that this coin might be more likely to increase. It's just important to recognize that the bigger picture is that we have broken more so. I wouldn't dare say this is a bullish. I would just say that we've broken free from the descending trend. That's the important start. Okay. Having said that, looking at their 30 cents, we can see the price action is right there above the price. We got a decent amount of liquidation, upwards about 36, 37. So between 32 and 37, there is a concentration of liquidation. Same thing as well below the price. Keep that in mind. It's further away, so we're less likely to see that happen. But there's a lot of liquidation at 25 cents down as low as 20. So we just got to be mindful that that is a very real thing. And that it's important to maybe put that on the chart. So 20, upwards of 25, right there. And then let's go ahead and just duplicate this guy up here for that upper level liquidation. What was it at 40? Let's just say 40 cents. So we are right in the middle of a liquidation range, if you will. Okay. Usually when you're smack dab in the middle, there's more likelihood of the price action going, in the direction that the trend is at, right? So let's actually look at this here. 34. I think I drew that off wrong. It's 32 cents. So we're going to pull this guy down to 32. That's right there at the golden pocket. And we'll just kind of pay attention to that. So again, slightly closer to the upside than the downside. I'll clean up our playout chart and I'll post that on Twitter, Telegram, Discord as per usual. If you're not familiar with that, it does look like this here, or you can see a lot of different potential playouts for coins that I'm covering. Okay, so it's just available for you there. Having said that, let's look at the traditional indicators, kind of work our way down. We can see stochastic is maxing itself out, getting close to the top. We're over 50 on the RSI, money flow index is increasing. Those are generally good signs. TSI is over 0, and MACD is converging here, hasn't lost its momentum. So from a macro perspective, this looks really good. You got to recognize, though, most of the market kind of reflects a similar behavior. So this isn't like an outlier, some amazing thing, but it's definitely good, right? Now, having said that, let's go ahead and look at the 4-hour. Hold on, wait. Let's look at the SMAs. We're over the 20 and the 50. That's great news. Generally a good sign, too. Okay, so awesome stuff there. I like to see that. That's absolutely favorable. Basically just tells us that, if we close somewhere in the 28, 27 cent range, that would be somewhat of an invalidation. Okay, so again, keep in mind, don't just be blindly bullish here, but we are in pretty decent shape here. It's not perfect though. All right, so that's good. All right, so we're over all moving averages on the 4-hour too. So tentative for right now, we're looking good. I say tentative just because that can change pretty quick. We look here at our TSI, we're right there at 0. MACD is diverging. Most coins are doing that right now with the natural pullback from Bitcoin. We're over 50 on the RSI for the moment. Money flow index is low, or coming down rather, and we can see stochastic swinging down. So the 4-hour, just like most other coins I've analyzed today, has somewhat of a transitionary appeal to it. In other words, we may see further downside, but it's probably not going to be monumental. The reason I say that is just because if we kind of zoom out here and we look at our local time frame, this is roughly ever since July. So last 2.5, 3 months worth of trading, we can see there's a lot more volume below us than above us. That's usually going to work as a support. So biggest macro point of control is at 28 cents. I'm speculating that in combination with this 0.236 fib level, if the price pulls back, that'll be a solid pivot point for us. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and set an alert there. I usually like to set alerts at points of control just so I can get perspective later if it's worthwhile taking a trade. For right now, it isn't, but that's just because I haven't finished analyzing yet. So let's take a look at the hourly, see what's going on. We're probably going to see something very similar to other coins that I've been analyzing here today. I've looked at about 10 or 15 coins today, and most of them are on the lower lead of the cloud, and the lagging span is free and clear to the downside. Generally, that's a bearish sign, letting us know that we're more likely to see further downside. And again, we got momentum here too to the downside with the lagging span, or sorry, the conversion line and the baseline essentially being below it. So the overall sense here is that this fair value gap below the price action is potential to get swept. We could very well be, in the beginning of a potential pullback, right? There's a lot of different scenarios that could exist, but with there being fair value below the price and me feeling that Bitcoin's going to fill its fair value gap here at about 58.5 or potentially lower, I think we're probably going to see a bit more of a correction from SEI. Okay, so I would be cautious and careful taking a trade right now. While most positive confirming factors are present on the macro, and that's usually a good sign, that does tell us the overall sentiment is going up. From a smaller time frame perspective, we are probably going to experience further downside for the next few days. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. Again, I'll post our playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord here soon, so you can kind of see, but I'm just going to make sure we are aware of specific trend lines that may or may not be relevant, and generally speaking, the overall sentiment here. Okay, so we'll post that here shortly. Appreciate you rolling with me here. We'll tighten this up here, get that over to you shortly. So other than that, really not much else we can really note here, folks. I mean, we could dive a little deeper into smaller time frames. It doesn't make a ton of sense on a weekend. And from a macro perspective, again, still looking pretty decent. So I wouldn't cut this one out. But from an overall longer term, bigger picture, this would be a good spot consideration. But for right now, not really worth the leverage, if that makes any sense. So I hope, again, I was able to clarify correctly. Thanks so much again for watching. Hope you learned something today. Comment below if you get a chance. Like, subscribe, follow the whole 9 yards. Join us on Twitter, Telegram, Discord, or more importantly, use the link down below for BTCC. Some awesome exchange benefits there. We use them as a secondary to Bitunix because it's good to have diversity in your trading. So if you're day trading and swing trading, you want to separate those portfolios. There's no KYC or VPN for those guys either. So awesome stuff. Anyways, if you have any questions, reach out. Don't hesitate. Don't be a stranger. We got a lot of cool stuff going on in our Discord too. Check it out. But again, thanks for the request, Hazel and Grease Monkey. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.